Hey everybody, it's your buddy Eric, and this is Honest 5 for July 1st, 2020. Video seems a little wobbly, it's kind of weird. Anywho, had a therapy session today. A big phrase I hear people say when they talk about therapy is, we had progress today. I had progress today. And I don't know if I can say that because I don't feel like I've made progress on myself in a long, long time. I mean, the only thing I really tell is that my hair has grown longer and that my weight has dipped a little bit down to where it was. Now, I noticed that Minions thing in the background, and that is a gift I got from my ex-girlfriend when she went to Universal Studios. She picked me up a tin of cookies, and the cookies are gone, but the tin is still there, and I might just get rid of that because I never really cared for the Minions to begin with. I only had it around because I liked her a lot, and she's out of my life, so c'est la vie, as they say in the land of people who speak that language. Now, here's the thing. What was I talking about? I almost forgot. Progress. What does that mean with therapy? I don't know because I'm not a therapist, but what I do know is that we talked today for almost an hour, as is the appointment, about various things. And, why am I such what we've been hitting on? And I mean, I know some people go to therapy weekly. The price that I get on is pretty good. Like, mine is like almost every month and a half. So it's pretty busy, but it's decent enough. Like, he's giving me some good books to read and some good things to consider and talk about and some things to try and attempt. Anywho, point is that we were talking today about why I'm such a harsh critic. Well, actually, language is very interesting. It's not so much why I'm a harsh critic, is that why the part of me that is a self-critic is so strong. And when did that start? And it was funny because he asked that question. He's like, when did that start? And I said, I don't know why I want to say this, but my gut instinct says fifth grade. Now, fifth grade, lots of things happen to most kids in fifth grade. You're about 11 years old. It's very change-filled time of your life. Puberty and all that shit. I remember that's when we first had sex ed, like basic sex ed, a bit before that. But I remember watching videos on sexual harassment, and they scared the shit out of me. Not because I sexually harassed people, but because it felt that like I could easily accidentally sexually harass someone, right? It was like, staring at people. I'm like, well, like sometimes I just stare off in the distance, like, oh shit, what if someone was in my view, But everything I've been paranoid my entire life, it's just like, I do not sexually harass people, but, I was just like, oh shit, like I could, get in trouble for like, bumping up against a person, or that's not what the intent was, but that's what registered with me was like, I could make a mistake and that could cost me my future, my life, all that stuff. And it's gross to think about how wrong I was, in the sense that like people were doing much worse than what I was worried about. Not that sounds stupid, that's not what I'm trying to say, but what I'm trying to say is that like I was worried about things that are nothing compared to what people actually get away with, which is terrible. But what I'm trying to say is that I put an undue stress on myself, like I wasn't going to, be arrested. I wasn't going to be thrown in jail as a 11-year-old for staring at the wall and accidentally having a girl walk there for a few minutes, right? That was what my fear was, but that's not what was going to happen. That's what I'm trying to express here. My fear was well beyond reason, right? It wasn't a logical fear, but it was a fear that I held, and that doesn't make sense. That doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help me. It doesn't help anybody who's been sexually harassed, right? I'm not trying to make light of anything. Another thing I found is I apologize a lot, and I'm always genuinely really sorry because I don't want to be misunderstood. So I must have been misunderstood at some point. Is basically the kind of stuff like when was I so misunderstood that I felt that I needed to, and that's something I still haven't really worked on. Is like, why do I worry so much about being misunderstood? I mean, part of it I think might, not entirely, it might be something bad, but like it might be something to do with um, speaking a foreign language all the time, right? If I say the wrong thing, I mean, there's all these jokes about like, foreigners saying the wrong thing, or swapping words, or saying one word that sounds like another word and it means a completely different thing, and being very embarrassing. But that's a genuine concern that you have, is that you don't want to embarrass yourself and others. You don't want to be rude accidentally, right? And that's one of my big fears is accidentally. But like, I have to work on that. Like, it's not that big of a deal, but that doesn't stop me from being very harsh on myself. And I need to tone that down, but it's not easy because it's a bad habit. It's a really easy habit to get sucked into.